Yeah, hi guys. Today we are going to discuss another important topic. This is the topic is most important. 3-4 questions coming from this topic. So out of 45, it is about 3 to 4 questions. So it is how much important. This is the topic will take 10 sessions. Of course, you have to be continue it. It may help for you. You guys just focus. This is the introduction classes about this topic. Yeah, of course, human reproductive system. This is the topic which is comes under human physiology. So, introduction overview about reproduction. Reproduction is about, this is the topic what we can learn. We are going to focus in this key reproductive events where there is a gametogenesis. Before that, male and female reproductive system, male reproductive system and female reproductive system. Then gametogenesis and insemination, where artificial and fertilization and implantation, there is a blastocyst and paturation after birth. Okay, and embryonic development also there is a event. Okay, there is 3 and 4 questions will come across. There is a anatomical part and physiology part, which is anatomical part, which is human reproductive system, that is male reproductive system and female reproductive system, their parts. And if come to the development, gametogenesis and embryonic development is going to ask later on what are the hormones involved in this. Okay, these are the most important topics. And if come to the gametogenesis, the formation of gametes, where the sperm in the male and female in the like ova in the female. Okay, and fertilization, yeah, it is going to take a zygote, and as well there is a blastocyst formation, embryonic development, and there is a paturation. Okay, these are the events which they can focus in the coming NEET. Okay, yes. If come to the next slide, yeah guys, this is the class is the main purpose. You have to be focused in the coming session. Okay, what are the areas we have to be covered in the reproductive system. Okay, yes. And if come to this male reproductive system, male reproductive system, what are the key areas we have to be focused? Okay, primary sex organs, that is testis. Okay, where there is a structure, location and structure, and the type of seminiferous tubules where the sperm which is developed. Okay, yeah, that is spermatogonia is the 2n status cells give the n status cells, that is sperm. Okay, that is spermatozoa. Like Sertoli cells, what are the role for the development of sperm? Okay, this is all overall about male reproductive system. Okay, yeah. If come to the hormones or testosterone, where there is a hormones which is LH and FSH role in the male reproductive system. Male reproductive system, where the LS and SH is secretes from the pituitary, anterior pituitary, which is signals from hypothalamus give positive signals to the pituitary to release such a hormones which is LH and FSH. Hypothalamus, there is a hormone which is gonadotropin releasing hormone, gonadotropin GnRH. This is the GnRH. They can give the positive signal to the pituitary gland. Pituitary gland release the hormones that are LH and FSH. That is useful for the development of sperm. And about the hormone which is testosterone, the Leydig cells which is LH, yeah, LH, which is Leydig cells, give the testosterone. This is the hormone in the male reproductive system. And if come to the FSH, FSH. This can be useful for the spermatogenesis. They can support to the Sertoli cells. Okay, all over hormones and male reproductive parts we are going to discuss in the male reproductive system. Okay, if come to the female reproductive system, there are certain parts which are covered under the male reproductive system, that is accessory ducts, male accessory ducts. Okay, that is we have to cover rhatitestis and vasa efferentia, epididymis and vas deferens and ejaculatory ducts. These are the ducts which are involved in the male reproductive system. Okay, we are going to discuss each and every part, what their role and their function, okay, in the male reproductive system. Yep. And rhatitestis is what, and vas efferentia, epididymis and vas deferentia and ejaculatory ducts. Okay, yeah. If accessory glands in the male reproductive system, accessory glands are what? Okay, glands are seminal vesicles, prostate gland and bulbourethral glands. These are the glands. There are in the male reproductive system, there are ducts and glands. Okay, glands are seminal vesicles, prostate gland and bulbourethral glands. This is we can call corpus gland. Okay, seminal vesicle secretes the fructose and it is about 60% of the semen, and if come to the prostate gland, secretes milky fluid, activate sperm, and bulbourethral gland secretes the mucus and for the lubrication. Okay, these are the glands which their role in the male reproductive system we are going to discuss in the coming session. Okay, yes. External genitalia also we are going to discuss in the male reproductive system, external genitalia. Okay, yeah. If come to the female reproductive system, where the primary sex organs of the female, which is ovaries, okay, we are going to discuss about ovaries, which is one paired ovaries, almond shaped, and there is ovarian follicles, what their role, Graafian follicle, what their role. Okay, the hormones which are involved in the female reproductive system is estrogen and progesterone. In the female reproductive system, there are such a hormones are involved, estrogen and progesterone. We are going to discuss in this class, in the coming class. Yes, if come to the next topic, next slide. Yeah, female reproductive system glands, accessory ducts. Accessory ducts are fallopian tube, that is oviducts, fallopian tube, that is oviducts, and the second one is uterus. Okay, yeah, there are such a layers in the uterus. Okay, for the implantation, such layers perimetrium, myometrium and endometrium in the uterus. Perimetrium, myometrium and endometrium we are going to discuss in the coming session. Okay, there is a cervix and vagina, that is also we are going to discuss in the female reproductive system. Okay, yes. If come to the next, yeah, we are going to discuss external genitalia of the female reproductive system, that is mammary gland. Also we are going to discuss mammary glands in the female reproductive system. There is a mammary gland. Okay, yeah. What are the modified sweat glands for the lactation? Modified sweat glands for the lactation. Yeah, there are certain lobes which are they making alveolus for the milk secretion. Okay, yeah, that is lactiferous ducts, they can give the secretion for the milk ejections. Okay, this is also female external genitalia. We are going to discuss in the coming classes in the human reproductive system. Okay? Yes. Yeah. If come to this, the events which are in the female reproductive system, what are the events going to take place? Puberty, the age of sexual maturity, and spermatogenesis begins 13 to 14 years in the males, but oogenesis which is begins in the before birth. Okay? Yeah, they are enter into the puberty level. Okay? Before birth in the female, and male after attain 13 to 12 to 13 years, there is a puberty is going to take place. Okay? There is a menstrual cycle which is begin in the female. Okay? That is menarche. Okay? These are the events which is going to take place in the human reproductive system. Okay? Yeah, comparison between the male and female. Comparison between the male and female. Guys, these all our topics which are covered in the human reproductive system. You have to be attend each class in the chronology. We are to complete within the 6 to 8 sessions this reproductive system. Okay? Human reproductive system we have to be complete within the stipulated time. Yeah. If come to the comparison, male and female reproductive system comparison is what? If come to the gametes, that is sperm in the male, in the female it is the ova. Okay? If come to the female, it is the ovum. Hormones are in the males, which is testosterone, female it is the estrogen and progesterone. These are the hormones. Duration, it is lifelong, there is a hormone, and it is end for the menopause, that is 50 years, where the end of the female reproductive hormones. Okay? There is a ovulation, ova release going to be stopped. Okay? Yep. If come to the next slide, yeah, what is infertility, what is vasectomy, what is tubectomy, is the surgical contraceptive methods we are going to discuss in the reproductive health. Okay? Yep. And hormonal contraceptives also there, pills like regulated the ovulation. Okay? Yeah. Mainly we have to focus this list. Must practice for the NEET, for the diagrams, which is male reproductive system, seminiferous tubule structure, spermatogenesis process, female reproductive system, ovary with follicle, mammary glands and structure. These are the diagrams. They can ask you, mostly they can ask you the observation oriented question. Previously they did ask, there is a NCERT, there is a diagram in the sperm. There is a sperm which is mitochondria shape, they did ask. Mitochondria shape. Previous year question, PYQ. So, this kind of observation questions they can make in the coming NEET. Okay? So, these are the main areas you have to be practice the diagrams. Male reproductive system, seminiferous tubule, spermatogenesis, female reproductive system, and ovary with follicle, mammary gland and structure. This is the most prioritable topics for the practice for the diagrams, guys. Okay? Yeah. If come to the next page, yeah, guys, it is enough all over about the brief introduction about the topic human reproductive system. Tomorrow the session will be begin male reproductive system. Tomorrow I am going to start. Okay? I hope This is the brief introduction of topic. I hope you guys understand. Okay, tomorrow you have to be attend the class. Thank you.